Hello, everybody. This is Brian Howard, and I am starting a little new series today that's about how to grow in your faith. And I specifically mean to grow in your Christian faith. So, the first episode that I want to talk to you involves a story of when, a bunch of years ago at this point, probably about a year after I was married, and I heard someone at church say something about trusting God. And that kind of puzzled me. I wasn't really used to hearing that kind of language. And so I was driving home one day, and I just was irritated by that fact. I had a really bad day. I had a challenging boss at the time, and the boss could be kind of harsh. And so I was driving home, and I was thinking about that, and then I was troubled by this phrase, trust God, or that something like that I had heard at church. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how to do that, or what context you should apply that, and all that stuff. So I just kind of said out loud in the car as I was driving to God, I have nothing to trust you about. What does that even mean? Like, trust God. What does that mean? And, right after I said that, I had the thought, well, you just had this hard day, maybe that's a good idea to trust God with that. And so I thought, oh, okay, I can trust God with my boss and this situation at work right now. So that was kind of the first time that I ever, trusted God with something in my life. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, something else happened, also at work. And so I'm driving home again, and I just had the same idea. Well, maybe I could trust God with that. And so it kind of became a habit over time of taking challenging situations and trusting God with them. So I guess my first tip for growing in your faith is to find something to trust God with, and get God involved that way. So that's my tip. I would say at this point, it's not a perfect rhythm that I have. It's not a perfect skill or habit that I have, but I definitely kind of have that pretty early on in any conflict or any question that I have, of getting God involved, and of praying and trusting God with that. And what you'll find is that those situations really are resolved. Some of them quickly, some of them over a little bit longer period of time, but they really are resolved. And it's a confidence builder too in God and in your relationship with the Lord, when you pray about something and you trust God with something in the real world, and then you start to get used to having Him answer those needs. So I hope that helps. Pick something to trust God with. Make it your your first one. If it may be for you, it's your first one, but trust Him, and with all your heart, just really with all your heart, and don't waver no matter what. Even if it takes longer than you think. Also, be ready that the way He answers that need might be different than when you expect it too. So, for example, let's just use the boss example. That particular boss who might be a really bad boss, they might not leave the company. That's kind of an extreme outcome, right? But that situation can die away, and you can be vindicated and justified, and or you may learn from it. That's another good outcome. You might need to learn from that. What you think of as harsh in that boss might actually not be harsh. The delivery might be terrible, and I'll give you that, but it might be that you needed to learn something from that situation, and that you need to have an open mind. So, pray about it, and God's going to answer in the way that you need and in the way that is fitting for the situation. You don't want God to be your personal genie where you rub the bottle and you get 3 wishes and then you can kill someone. I mean, give me a break. He's going to answer it in the way that is best for you. And sometimes he has to manufacture some of these requests, right? I mean, if he were to send your boss to another company, he has to provide for that family too. So he has to, create a situation where maybe that boss will learn something in the new role and move some stuff around. I mean, you don't know. So don't be negative. Trust the Lord, and take heart. And by the way, along the journey and along the path to your response, you need to absolutely have continue conversations with the Lord about that. And it is a conversation. What does that mean? Tell him you're discouraged. Tell him you don't know why, he's not answering. I mean, have that honest dialogue. So anyway, a few ideas for you. I hope they help, but the bottom line is trust God. Find something to trust God with, and then stick to it no matter what. Okay? All right, have a great day. Take care.